Hello and welcome everyone to Game 7 of the NextGen 2012 Tour. We're in Brooklyn, New York as the NextGen All-Stars takes on Pride of New York, PoNY. A special treat for you today. I am not alone in this broadcast. Here with me is Aaron Bell. Aaron Bell, please tell me a bit about yourself.
Woo! I got to say, it's great to be here, Topher. Thanks for having me out. I know that the Pride of New York is extra stoked to have the opportunity to play with NextGen. I can't say enough about how pleased I am to be in this booth with you. My name is Aaron Bell. I played with Oregon back in 05 and 06 and know a bunch of these guys on the NextGen team. Hard to imagine that my name's on the side of that bus over there, but what a gorgeous beauty that is. Been playing with PoNY for 4 years, from 2008 to 2011, and believe it or not, retired a little bit, whatever that means to Coach YCC. But all my kids are out here watching. The whole community's here. Here we go with the first pull. Get us started, and let's hope for a great game.
All right, PoNY starting on offense, All-Stars on defense.
Looks like we've got a wily veteran, the handler there. Number 7 is a Wisconsin graduate, Kevin Riley. Very smooth, low-release throws. He's got the disc right now. Look to see him control the pace of that offense, make a lot of the tougher high stall decisions, keeping possession as much as possible. That's sort of his MO.
Also on that line from Wisconsin, we have number 2, Wisconsin Callahan winner from 2007, Dan Heyman. He'll be cutting, handling in the offense. And Riley going deep to Jack Marsh.
Oh,
Tyler DiGirolamo is there.
Very nice.
Marsh cleaning it up in the second effort.
Here is what people like to call the biggest man in the field from Syracuse, Robbie Gillies. He played out in the West Coast in LA for a little while with the Condors before coming out to New York about 4 seasons ago. Looks like we got a call on the field.
Apparent goal is Riley hits Marsh. Nick Lance saying he didn't tap it in. Violation on the field. Disc goes back, but it's not going to matter. Same pass. Marsh scores. Assist for Riley. PoNY goes up 1-0.
And that was a great point. I mean, these guys, they both played the short game well and saw the opportunity to go long. That was a 50, 60-yard throw to Marsh, even though we had to make a double play on it. I think it's nice to see a team take chances with their offense, even though you have as much skill as you do in the cutting from Heyman and Marsh, from Robbie. I think we saw Ben Van Huvelen, number 42. He's a stalwart on the offense, been coaching and captaining PoNY for about 5.5 years. I say a half because he's split the job quite a bit over the last couple.
Offensive line for the NextGen bus. Starting out there, Captain Matt Rader, Colin Camp, Camden Allison Hall, Philip Haas, international player from Germany, Chris Kocher, Tommy Lee, and Jacob Janin. Lee center Sahas, vertical stack from the bus. And a zone look from PoNY. Allison Hall wide open on the sideline.
Seems like a pretty loose cup.
Rader going to Janin. Janin can't get the look. Chris Kocher, second effort. Off the hands of Chris Mazur.
Chris Mazer, he had a great shot at it. Has to grab that, bring it in to prevent unlucky opportunities like the second one we saw.
And just like that, score is tied 1-1. Both of the deep looks gets caught on second efforts. Surprising offense there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. So we'll see what kind of offense we see, if it's going to be more zone or continued man pressure from NextGen. Here we go. Looks like we've got a new cutter. Let's see. Looks like a loose man in the backfield, taking PoNY out of their line call, I imagine. Ben Van Heuvelin passing to Kevin Riley, squaring up downfield to see what we can create from the middle of the field. Oh, that's Jody, number 93. He's got a new number this season. Jody's been around forever. Went to Wesleyan. Has been captain PoNY for as long as Ben Van Heuvelin. Took one season off to rehab his knee a little bit. Great to see him back out.
Tommy Lamar coming into Dan Heyman there. Stoppage of play.
Muck went to Rhode Island, that guy with the great catch. Fantastic speed, great wheels, and here we get to see it. And that's one big score for Muck. Who knows how to say his last name? Kamau. He's going to hate me for trying.
Kuzmowicz?
That's it. Kuzmowicz?
Kuzmowicz. That's what he was telling me before the game.
Yep.
They always have to have one that is just impossible to pronounce.
He played with Mephisto in Canada for a little while, I believe. Has been on PoNY for 3 years now. Maybe it's 2, but he's a fantastic speed asset to the team. One of those guys who chases down the cones after every practice. Number 83. We've got Tim McGugan. Played college in Virginia with a smaller school, but one of the most athletic players on PoNY. There, it sounds like the audio kicked in. Got a nice big pull. Just outside.
Tommy Lee going to take that one to the brick mark. Looks like PoNY still in their zone.
Yeah, they must be working on some funky junk. Let's see what kind of pressure they put on. Looks like they're giving up a few throws to the middle. It's not a very windy afternoon. We'll have to see which direction they really try and force these guys. Nice D, there he is, Tim McGugan coming out and to poach that lane. See if they can clean up the space.
First turn of the game goes to NextGen. PoNY with a chance to break early here.
You might recognize number 8 there in the middle of the field, Seth Crockford. He's very nice. Seth played for Sockeye a number of years. He's gone to Worlds with them and played with PoNY for 3 years as well. That reception goes to Matt Hennessy, younger brother of one of the captains for PoNY. It's good to see him out. This is his first year. Still pretty calm afternoon out here in Brooklyn. You'll notice the flag is staying still. Give it a nice gentle breeze, but nothing that's going to affect the nature of the game, I imagine. We probably won't see a lot of zone that's focused in putting up hammers, but maybe more to take any line calls and turn them into side to side while the defense gets set.
Chris Mazur pulling for PoNY. Lance Sinner Sahas. and bounces off the hands of Tommy Lamar.
Very nice.
Hennessy with the disc outside the goal line.
To Chris Gore, one of the speedier cutters in the pitch. There goes Mazur trying to get open up the line.
There we go, the first hammer of the game.
Oh, big grab from the newbie, David Ferrero. Good to see him out there stretching that length for the big reception. That's a master play.
Eric Johnson almost able to get to that dead side. Might have been baiting that hammer. We've seen a lot of them going on in the past few games. Ironside and Goat, definitely hammer friendly. And with that, NextGen goes down 2 breaks early in this game, and they took a timeout, regrouping themselves. And we're going to go to a commercial. We'll be back with this game in just a minute.
Here we go, PoNY bringing out their 7. Looks like we got Mazur and Tim McGugan there on the far right with Crockford. I can't quite tell. It looks like Matt Hennessy there.
Can you all hear me now?
Mike Sender just walked onto the line.
Looks like PoNY.
Milo Snyder, a young player from Seattle. This is his 2nd year with PoNY. Great to see him out there, such a solid handler. PoNY's got to be pretty happy with themselves in the game so far, putting a lot of good pressure on the handler set over at NextGen.
Elemental is one of them, Patagonia, Discraft, and also Disc New York. After the timeout, NextGen now on offense, hoping to get a point in after getting 2 breaks. Kocher, Camp, Raider, Dylan Freechild, Jimmy Mickle, Allison Hall, and Jannon.
See if they can bring some heat, keep possession.
Jannon backhandling.
Oregon to Oregon, gotta love that. Ooh, nice big bid.
And Mickle finding Jannon, easy. He's gonna sit outside the end zone.
Oh.
Allison Hall and Chris Kocher, his 2nd goal of the game, and the 2nd that's tipped off its intended receiver. Kocher really heads up in today's game.
It's a quality you always respect, a guy who can clean up, make the most of every opportunity. Looks like PoNY's bringing out their starting O. Got Kevin Riley, Heyman, Van Huvelen, Jody Avergan, Robbie Gillies, Jack Marsh, and Muck Kuzmowitz.
Defensive line in the bus, hoping to get a break back. Driscoll, DiGirolamo, Mickle, Lee, Lamar, Johnson, and Raider. Eric Johnson and Matt Raider elected as the 2 captains for the 2012 bus. 2 guys with a lot of respect on this team, plan to be the voices amidst a lot of stars.
Ooh, I don't know if he got a hand on it. Typically, you see a lot of good spacing out of the horizontal from PoNY. Handlers will stay spread until they're engaged by eye contact to make that cut. Activity usually comes from the center cutters, but knowing this much, they still manage to win games and be unpredictable. Case in point.
Marsh on the sideline, up to Heyman.
Good look from Robbie. There's his patented push pass. Good coverage underneath. Let's see if these guys can't reset. Looks like they may go into a vertical here. great underneath pressure from the handlers. What a find from Kevin Riley to Robbie Gillies. That is just gorgeous. Out of the fog comes the light.
Great pressure from the NextGen defense. Doing great on the handlers, and then
Robbie Gills with the score.
Gillies just sneaking away on the deep look. Early in this game, PoNY up 5-2 with a completely dominating game that NextGen has been putting on. Aaron, are you surprised by PoNY's performance so far?
Well, I know these guys have been working and building of many years of solid competition. I know their goal is to come into the New York Invite this weekend with all victories and carry that momentum into ECC. So I think they're really focused on their spacing on offense, and they're doing that very well. Their pressure in the zone, that also is looking very good. So it looks to me that they've got a hit list of X's and O's, and they're executing. Nice to see. Not many mistakes, and there's patience on the exchanges in the backfield, and that's what you need when you're facing pressure like this NextGen handler D.
That pull goes out of bounds as Nick Lance is taking it up to the brick. A vertical stack from the bus.
Nice extra pressure. Is that Janin? Ooh, love to see that matchup. I'd say 9 times out of 10 that goes Janin's way. He just has the ability to read that disc with such speed and precision. Got to give it up for the great defense.
And
new player Jason Young with the D.
PoNY with a chance to go up 3 breaks in this game.
There's Luke Hawken. One of the more explosive defenders. Seth Crockford, veteran, pivoting, drawing the foul. Getting that new stall count. Good spacing by PoNY. You can see it paying off with this deep look. Ooh. You always get your money's worth sending Luke deep. Either it's a score or it's beautiful. We'll call it some combination of the two there.
That one will chalk up just to beautiful.
Yeah? The whole time? Well, jeez. I didn't know that. No, not at all. You sounded good.
Thorne bringing the disc up to the goal line. Second opportunity for the offense to score in this point.
Nice break. Keep the defense on their toes. Number 7 is winning the matchup here.
Camp and Freechild under the disc. Camp gets up. Hawken is there.
Looks like there's a call on the play.
A foul called by Colin Camp, uncontested by Hawken.
These guys will take it at the line. Red zone opportunity. Good coverage. Crowd loves this one. Nice break.
Lance finding Alex Thorne, pulling the disc out of the air to keep possession. NextGen offense able to score that one, 3-5.
That was an exciting one. NextGen really needed that score. Keep their momentum, keep the pressure on PoNY's offense to continue performing. Looks like they're bringing out Kevin Riley, Ben Van Heuvelin, Robbie Gillies, Jody Avergan, Marsh, Kuzmowitz, Heyman. They've got the swagger.
PoNY certainly earning it this game. D-line for the bus, trying to get it back. Tommy Lamar, Jimmy Mickle, Tyler DiGirolamo, Camden Allison Hall, Tommy Lee, Will Driscoll, and Matt Rader. Big pull from the Sockeye star. Little too much, though, as that floats out of bounds.
For the trivia fans, it looks like Jack Marsh has not replaced his ankle braces since college. Some of you may have been wondering if we would see some nice new white kicks out there. Doesn't look like it this year yet. Ben Van Heuvelin brings the disc up. Long pivots. Heyman with the slide. Brand new ankle braces next year on Marsh. Speedy cutters. It's just, it's great to see it. Heads up travel call.
Kevin Riley rounding out his cut there. Going up line.
To the big man, Ben Van Heuvelin. Nice to see BVH pull that in. Hard to teach height.
Ben Van Heuvelin? Heuvelin? BVH, as he likes to be called. Captain for the Open Junior Worlds team. He's captained a fair share of these NextGen All-Stars himself, including Thorne, Janin, Tommy Lee, Chris Kocher, Dylan Freechild, and Matt Rader. And he will be in Ireland in a couple weeks with the USA Juniors team.
And he's just a walking brain. The guy's played a lot of Frisbee, understands it on a fundamental level, able to really build a thoroughbred from the ground up. And it's great to see that. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding just across the line, and we see the NextGen guys bringing the heat right back to him and his team. But you know, the whole community respects what BVH has done with his juniors' coach ability.
Lance in the center of the field, side stack from the bus. Opening play, not going to work due to a zone from PoNY.
And that seems to be their focus this evening, is taking NextGen out of the call that they may have on that line, forcing them to play something maybe they don't want to do.
And a quick backhand coming from Rader. Low on a rope, but doesn't get to Tyler DiGirolamo.
They'll take it at the cone. Looks like number 21, David Ferraro, has switched his cleats. If you remember, his last big catch came wearing orange. I don't know if he changes it for each big play, but let's hope. PoNY pushed back deep in their own end zone. Here's Milo Snyder, very quick, short movements, always getting open with ease. Ferraro in the middle. This is Chris Gore. They're moving the ball quickly. Some of us like to call this Plinko, the old Price is Right reference. Not more than 2 seconds, and on to the next throw, and on to the next stall set.
A lot of great movement from handlers to cutters, and almost immediately back to the handlers. The round backhand going to get.
Oh, there's the big play with the new shoes. David Ferraro with a nice grab at the end zone.
Just like that, PoNY is up 7-3.
What a surgical break that was. These guys moved the ball so quickly, back and forth, slicing up the handlers. It didn't look like the handler D was able to set up much of a force at all.
All-Stars haven't seen this kind of a deficit since their first game in Colorado. They've been able to play pretty handily the rest of the tour, but maybe feeling a little too big of themselves after taking down Ironside just the other day.
PoNY's played Ironside pretty tough this season. I think both games were within 1 or 2 points, 16-17. I believe at the last showing will be an interesting battle in this region. Seth Crockford leading charge down the field here. Number 0, Alex Mazulis, is on the field. Wiley veteran's been around for all 7 or 8 years of PoNY. Was there when they came up with the name. There's Alex on the mark. He went to Carleton. Good two-handed catch coming to the disc. Nice D, Seth Crockford, but we knew there'd be a call on that throw.
Tommy Lamar drawing the foul as he tries to go around and up the line to Eric Johnson.
That's a great decision. He knew he was getting fouled, had the opportunity to try and put the ball where it could become an advantage. It's a free look.
Driscoll on the reset. Back to Johnson.
Ooh, nice fakes.
Tries to get it to Freechild. Freechild, not enough line in the field of play. This got a bounce. PoNY with a chance to break for half. Crockford on the sideline.
Looks like we've got a call. I was about to praise PoNY for keeping such a tight stack. It looks like that was a problem. We'll see how they find their rhythm here. Alex Mazulis. No.
Chris Kocher having a great
D.
game. Getting the D there on the sideline.
A little diplomacy from Matt Hennessy.
Some talk about a call on the field. It couldn't have been a pick because continuation would have called that as a turnover.
Looks like the disc is coming back to PoNY. Might have been a call before the disc came into play.
Unfortunate break for the bus. As Chris Kocher had earned them the disc back on a great D. But the play doesn't count. And over the top.
Nice hammer find.
Hennessy. Back to Heyman.
Is there a travel call?
Johnson calling a travel call.
Seth Crockford with the disc. He also got this going with the nice big hammer. Has a full tool belt of game-ready throws to choose from. Timeout called.
Smart timeout from Seth Crockford. If they're able to break this, they'll go into half. And another timeout from PoNY. We're going to take a brief timeout, and we'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Brooklyn, New York. PoNY knocking on the doorstep, trying to get their 4th break of the half and take half 8-3.
Would be a huge accomplishment for these guys. This defense is demonstrating great composure, making the perfect timeout call when things are getting heated on the red zone.
Dan Heyman finding the butter but calling the foul on Chris Kocher. Saying, maybe calling a strip call.
Disc goes back.
Kocher, the youngest player on this team, not intimidated by the Callahan winner. Disc is tapped back in.
Wow. Another lucky double opportunity. was missed by the first receiver and caught by Mazulis, it looks like. Good heads up reception to take us into the half.
Right. Interesting first half it has been. NextGen down 8-3. Biggest deficit they've had so far on this tour since the start of it. Hopefully they're going to come out fired up in the second half, bring this game back. As for myself and my partner and Bell, we're going to go into half and be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to Brooklyn, New York. First poll goes off for the second half from PoNY. NextGen starting on offense. Vertical stack, Lee breaks it to Thorn.
Looks like PoNY's coming out man. Nice to see a little switcheroo. Clearly the zone was working in the first half. Let's see if the hustle can bring about the same success.
And Thorn going to Philip Haas. Just outside the goal line. Flips it to Tyler DiGirolamo.
Nice control.
Good, smooth offense from the bus going into this half. They're really going to need offensive points like that to get themselves back in this game. Currently down 8-4. Tough half for the NextGen All-Stars. PoNY certainly playing well. As Aaron was mentioning, a lot of zone defense from them, earning them the disc. And then smooth offense so far from Pride of New York.
I think that's the hardest thing to bring to the Northeast region is controlled offense. Typically, it's one or two turnovers that can decide a game. To see the PoNY offense come out, stay consistent, make good choices, maintain possession, it's like a brand new PoNY. It's good to see it. Let's see if it can continue throughout the game. What a pull. We're talking 6-7 seconds.
10 yards, deep in the end zone. Squarrick having the disc. Kevin Riley calling the foul.
Looks like a body foul. Too much contact. Maybe a blocking foul.
Eric Johnson certainly a physical defender. Not afraid of a little contact. And
oh, exceptional catch from Jack Marsh. Not the kind of guy to let a disc go by without catching it. We'll have to double our efforts at this point to get that disc back. Obviously, Jack is charged up and ready to go.
Driscoll leading Johnson. They get a break early in the second half.
No sooner do we compliment PoNY's offense, have they broken here in the second half. Momentum may be shifting.
That is a great defensive point for the All-Stars. Starting off with a big pull from Jimmy Mickle. A lot of pressure and a short field turn. Could be a momentum changer early in the second half.
This is where the win factor actually is an issue. If NextGen can prove to keep the pressure in the end zone, keep them pinned back, it doesn't matter which direction they're going, they should be able to keep up the same strategy without too much being affected by the wind. A couple substitutions from PoNY. Looks like we brought Mazer out, Tim McGugan out, guys who can throw, make explosive plays.
Also guys who are big on the D-line, so if there is a turn, ready to get it back.
That's a great point.
Jack Marsh is on the sideline, resets to Riley.
You gotta love that little flip Jack has, his backhand. It comes out low and it pops up right over the defender's hand every time. It's so smooth. Heyman in the
Upfield
middle.
push pass.
Good spacing by PoNY. You can see any stoppage of play. If they are spaced well, they're probably playing well. transition from stoppage. One handler up, one handler back. To the middle of the field, squares up with his cutters. Mazer on the sideline. Finds Riley. Might see a push pass here if I'm a gambler. Oh, it's a forehand.
Inside out throw.
Very nice. Way to move the disc from side to side. That's a good patient possession. PoNY usually has the philosophy, if we turn it going deep, our next decision is going to be short, quick throws. And that may have been what we just saw, them working on that mental capacity to reel it in on a must-score situation.
PoNY setting up that throw with a series of break side throws. Great offense strategy to have. Offensive line from the NextGen All-Stars: Matt Rader, Tommy Lee, Philip Haas, Chris Kocher, Colin Camp, Alex Thorne, and Jacob Janin. Pole coming up from Jody Avergon.
Tim, a little off his man. Maybe was trying to poach in the middle of the field. They do look loose down there in the handlers, both Milo and Tim. Nice bid. Giving up the dump. Looks like Luke Walkenhawken taking a big dive. NextGen doing a great job of swinging the ball. Find a new opportunity downfield. Good quick releases.
Haas
Well done.
finds Thorne up the line. Great point for the offense.
That was very smooth. That's exactly what NextGen needs to do against this team. Show that youth and athleticism. Make these guys keep up with great decisions, left to right. So that makes it 3-1 for the second half. NextGen really looking tough. Pressure is all on PoNY's offense. The game is much closer than it appears with the rally that we've seen from White.
Jimmy Mickle to pull the disc. And a junk look from the NextGen defense, stopping the initial play.
Ooh, great coverage in the backfield. Riley comes to save the day, finds an open Jack Marsh with the flip backhand. Gives a chance for PoNY's offense to reset. Riley very threatening with the big hammer. Oh, a game of second chances. This one ever so close to being caught by Heyman. Oh, we got a stretcher. Deep cut. Good mark to stop that throw choice. Oh, Jody Avergan with the catch. Another juniors coach along with BVH. And we get to see the release a little short.
Almost another second attempt catch. As Tyler DiGirolamo tips that one off his fingers. NextGen defense, second chance to break in this point. Would be a Nice momentum change. And Nick Lance, feeling the importance of the point, calls a timeout. Certainly wanting to be patient and punch this one in.
What a second half. These guys look like two different teams. PoNY's still working some kinks out on the offense. A lot of pressure on the backfield from NextGen. Their defensive handlers all over the resets, making it very difficult to dump as they were in the beginning of the game.
And a timeout on the field. We're going to take a quick timeout. Be back with you in just a minute.
Oh, second catch. Again, this is the theme for the day. Must be that sweet New York air. Good communication on the field from NextGen.
NextGen D-line with the disc, hoping to get a break.
Oh, great deep cut.
And Nick Lance going to Will Driscoll. It's got flow.
Might get a matchup.
Will Driscoll getting up big over Kevin Riley for the break.
That's worth a spike. You got to feel good about that. It was a great deep cut, 40, 50-yard cut. Went up for a floater, and he came down. The big man on campus.
Will Driscoll, going to be a senior at Texas, third-year player on double wide. He's been making big plays on the tour.
Clearly a game of attrition. NextGen has been touring nonstop, playing some of the best, and they look fit. The way they've brought heat in the second half has brought this game up to 9-7. PoNY still getting their tournament legs under them midway through their season that hopefully culminates in a trip to Florida in October. They look a little tired.
And in an unfortunate turn of events, that goal is not going to count for the bus. Maybe a travel downfield, but the disc goes back to Nick Lance. Goal doesn't count.
Ouch, I'm baffled.
Not only for the score, but that is just taking away all of the bus's momentum.
Have to be headstrong. Continue to take what PoNY is giving them, these outlets to the side. Much of NextGen's offense cycles from what seems to be the middle of the field, looking for that swing and a burst deep. Good power position upfield, right back, way to move the disc. Little Oregon class as we have a little fun out there, skipping the disc.
Mickle, 15 yards out.
PoNY's offense is really put to the test here, playing a long D point. Will they keep the pressure on the marks? A lot of NextGen cutters running freely all the way to the bank.
And there we go, Will Driscoll with the sure goal that time. Nick Lance opening that up on a backhand break. Jimmy Mickle hitting Will Driscoll. Will Driscoll still fired up. And a long point for the PoNY offense. NextGen puts in a fresh line. We'll see how PoNY's offense responds to that sort of pressure.
Looks like, again, a couple substitutions as we bring out some power from the D-line in Seth Crockford, Chris Gore. In fact, it looks mostly D-line out there, except for Heyman and Robbie Gillies. While the offense goes back, resigns to thinking through what the heck is going on out there. Great pull.
Mazer catching that one right on the end line.
Tim McGugan sits on the disc a little bit, allows the defense to cinch up, making it very difficult for these PoNY cutters to get open. Now we are 20 yards deep in the end zone with the horizontal line a good 40, 50 yards away. No, I'm sorry, 30 yards away. Will be a real challenge to get the offense moving in just a few stall counts. Might be Heyman that leads the charge here. Let's watch for his first step. A missed opportunity to swing it out of the back with Mazer there to Gore.
And taking the deep look, Tommy Lee gets a hand on it. Great defense.
Very nice defense from NextGen to keep that pressure on, to force the bad decision.
McGugan probably just trying to get that disc out of his end zone.
He's the best.
Now NextGen, 15 yards outside the goal line.
Great hustle.
Looking to get their second break in a row. Free child over the top.
Ooh. And that's the strength. PoNY puts out a D line. They're going to play a tough D. Nothing's going to be easy for NextGen if they get the break back.
And Mazer puts up a huck. Mickle getting involved.
Unbelievable second effort from Chris Gore. Has the wherewithal to pivot, get control, and hand blocked. Unfortunate.
Long reach from Jimmy Mickle. He goes deep. Johnson able to hit him. And as he hits the ground, he stays down there.
A hard fall. You can see the energy in this point. Quite anxious and frantic, trying to move the disc, make magic out there. The team that wins this point is the one that can settle down.
Eric Johnson comes in on the injury sub. Yeah, both teams really feeling the importance of this point.
9-7.
Oh, sorry, Nick Lance comes in, not Eric Johnson.
Seth Crockford on the mark. PoNY putting the pressure. NextGen switching fields. Contested. Great job.
Tommy Lee finding Tyler DiGirolamo. Second break point. NextGen now within one after going down in half. 8-3.
Looks like two completely different games. In the first half, we saw PoNY looking very strong, playing meticulous, precision, ultimate. Can't seem to have the same rhythm in the second half for these guys. I'm not sure where the breakdown is, but we're seeing rushed throw choices. We're seeing missed swing opportunities just to keep flow. And NextGen is definitely feeding off of it.
And PoNY takes a timeout after 2 breaks. We're going to take a timeout too. We'll be back in just a minute.
Woo! Here we go, 9-8. This is a big point. NextGen only has to break to tie it up. I'm excited.
Great second half effort from the bus, bringing the game within one. Definitely putting the pressure on this PoNY offense.
Big pet peeve of mine when you're excited and pumped to throw that pull out of bounds. Kind of a deflationary step. But let's see if NextGen can still keep the momentum they built up on the end zone line. Kevin Riley walks the disc. To Jack Marsh, wide open in the middle of the pitch. Back to BVH. NextGen pushing them back. Great to see them forcing their cutters wide, so no easy resets to the middle of the field. Ben, AKA Big Mitts, snatching that disc up. Very classy touch from Jack Marsh, and here in the red zone. Cutter's cycling very well, giving Ben plenty of options.
Late count, throws a hammer.
Question of whether he was inbounds. We did see that tape move. The question was it before or after the disc was in his hands. Jack Marsh, a lawyer by trade.
That's going to count as a turnover. Jack Marsh, 4 years at Harvard, takes his 5th year at Wisconsin to win a championship with them in 2007, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. NextGen, can they be methodical enough to win the biggest point of the game?
Lance to Driscoll.
Nice.
Plenty of space for Will Driscoll. He's right on the goal line.
Great job. NextGen keeping it exciting. That's got to be a punch to the gut for PoNY to have such a nice flow down the field, execute the way you would want any team to execute. Just unlucky with the hammer to the back of the end zone. On the field, the DJ is playing a Sublime song because there is a lot going on out there. A lot of mental shift, a lot of momentum shift between these teams. It's a wide open game at this point.
Back tied at 9. The bus is rolling. Defensive line, 3 breaks in a row, looking for their 4th. And again, a bit of a personnel change for the PoNY offense.
Looks like we've got Chris Gore, Mike Hennessy, Crockford, McGugan, Ferrero, Jason Yoon on the field with Robbie Gillies. See if these guys can find their groove. Still going with the horizontal.
Yoon on the sideline, first-year player.
Oh.
Eric Johnson.
Callahan, unbelievable defensive effort. Outstanding catch.
Eric Johnson exploding on a late count dump.
NextGen takes the lead.
And that Callahan is going to put the bus up by 1. 4 breaks in a row.
If you're White, you can't be writing a better story to be down against a great team in their house, claw your way back, to be facing the scoreboard 8-3 at halftime, and come out firing on all cylinders, and to take a Callahan D to go up 10-9, that's just Shakespeare. I am impressed. These guys look good, and PoNY knows it. What a pull. Side stack, Marsh out in the field. Onus is on the thrower to make that fake to hit the open first cut. Now we are a little cluttered. See if PoNY can regain fielding.
Riley holstering a huck. Wanting to play the possession game. And there we go, Jack Marsh just outside the goal line.
Nice, Riley. Shows a lot of maturity. Holstering the deep look to just work to score that disc on short throws and good decisions, easy decisions. It's exactly what PoNY needed. It's been a drought of scores.
Game tied at 10. So far, impressive play from both teams. PoNY dominating the first half. NextGen putting on the pressure in the second half. The crowd certainly enjoying this close game. Sounds like we have people rooting for both sides. We've heard some NextGen cheers out there, but a lot of support for the home team.
Absolutely, and it's so important for PoNY to play their best in front of all these fans. So rare is it for a club team to even have such competition like this at home. Certainly we expect to see a little bit more from PoNY's bag of tricks. Or should I say saddle of tricks?
Bag and saddle, PoNY rides away.
Again, pet peeve of mine, when there's a big momentum opportunity, we want to keep those pulls in, come down like freaking Braveheart warriors, setting up the D that you've planned on the line. We'll see if PoNY can find their mental fortitude from the brick.
And they're back to the zone look that we saw in the first half. The first time this defensive line for PoNY has been on.
Oh, we've got to have a shoulder out.
Crockford making a great bid, grabbing his shoulder as he hits the ground.
You hate to see that from a great player.
Under USAU rules, the disc goes back to the time of the injury. So at the D, when Crockford hits the ground before Nick Lance pulls, that disc is going to go back. And David Ferrero subs in for Crockford.
You hate to see the injury, but Seth does have the right idea. We've got to put pressure on the handlers, really force NextGen to get out of rhythm, because boy, have they found it.
Will Driscoll having a good game so far. Drops that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to take him out of his game. He's playing too well. Stuff happens. Just get right back on D.
And a low huck. Haas is able to clean it up. Great heads-up play. Bus offense still in control here.
Good display of team play as other players bail out the turn, regain possession. Fans really getting into it now, yelling at the players, trying to motivate these guys on both sides of the ball.
Foul call, uncontested, coming out on 0.
Want to point out the matchup with Jacob Janner in the backfield, really making some aggressive deep cuts, lots of energy. Looks like PoNY is struggling to keep up step for step back there.
NextGen, look at the line in that stack. On stoppage of play, they're just perfectly vertical.
Nice catch.
As Nick Lance recovers.
Disc is up. What a throw.
Driscoll to Haas.
And NextGen takes the lead, 11-10.
Good leading pass from Will Driscoll to find the international player, Philipp Haas. Philipp Haas from Germany, usually handling the disc, able to go up line and get the goal in that one.
Oh, you can't wait to see PoNY, what they're going to pull out of the hat at this point. You want to see these guys pumped up, jumping on the line, finding their rhythm. The game needs an appetite at this point, someone ready to crunch down on every opportunity.
Offensive line from PoNY, we've seen it before.
Butterboy with the pull for NextGen.
Just a bit outside.
That one hitting all the way in the track, more than a bit outside.
This is usually where Kevin Riley switches out the disc for a heavier disc that only he is familiar with. It's usually pretty interesting. Thankfully, we've got some sideline people there to protect the integrity of the game. Only joking, only joking. There may be some question about the heaviness of this disc. These guys are talking it through. Everything's okay.
Brief discussion about the brick mark. Get it sorted out. As Riley goes deep. Allison Hall. Nice
Great
D.
D.
Handed Allison Hall with the D.
Great timing, great position. He read that perfectly. Shame to see PoNY look to throw so deep so quickly.
Side stack from the bus. Jimmy Mickle rips a flick. Doesn't have the distance, so as Jack Mark cleans it up easy. PoNY now racing down the sideline. Heyman. Riley.
Everyone on PoNY a returner on the field right now. Very tenacious bunch. Guys that know what it's like to have close games. Riley with the disc, center of the field, point of attack. Great coverage on the handlers from NextGen, taking away the around. Nice job. Throw from BVH to Jack Marsh.
PoNY scores and ties it at 11.
Using that big 6'5" pivoting to take the easy toss to the bank.
It's great to see a big man like BVH playing a handler position. Normally those guys dominating downfield. But if you have someone that tall who can throw and can pivot, nearly unstoppable.
Absolutely. Just another asset to have in height as a thrower, to be able to step out, take big pivots, make it nearly impossible to hand block or foot block your release. So we got Milo Snyder, Mike Sender on the field. Mike Hennessy leading the charge. Pull for McGugan.
We've seen zone from this PoNY defense before. It looks like we're going to see it again.
Definitely looking junky. Looks like a wall defense in the middle of the field. Getting a little looser now as they resort back to man. That's Snyder on the mark, very quick, very astute. I'm sorry, Mike Sender on the mark. The compliments are the same. He's very quick, very heads-up player. Watch him stick to his man like glue.
NextGen now facing man defense. Free child around to camp.
Good adjustment from Chris Gore. Great effort from Luke Walkenhaken. He's good for one big D. A nice switch call in the backfield. Help recover Luke, who was down for a second.
Free child going up line.
Nice
Finds
hit.
Chris Kocher just before he gets to the back of the end zone.
NextGen takes the lead by 1.
That's an incredible find from Freechild. Gets it up the line with power position, eyes downfield, and have a guy streaking deep to that back corner. That's every thrower's dream. (12-11).
All the action we've seen in this game. NextGen up just one break.
And they've earned it. I mean, they certainly have clawed back the second half. I think they're up 9-3, which is pretty outstanding. But it's going to take more to win this game. Not going to see the home team back down very easily. Again, PoNY's brought out a veteran line of returners. Big pull, and here we go. Great cut by Heyman, using the space, clearing, allowing other guys to fill in behind him. Let's see if they can continue to move the field. Good, good, wide open. Lots of good pressure from NextGen. As we head to the red zone, you'll see PoNY use a little more touch on their decisions, a little more touch on their throws, finding the tight angles to hit BVH in the end zone. 12-12. PoNY has an ABT philosophy, always be touching. These guys are fervent high fivers, constantly trying to pass on the good vibes. I think that's what's happening here on the sideline is the whole team rushes the field to try and inspire these guys to find a way to break NextGen's offense.
Certainly advantage to being the home team and being one of these club teams, as they have 22 guys on the roster against the 15 NextGen players. They can get loud on that sideline. Everyone can be there for support. So far, the bus has been doing well against that kind of adversity. But here, 12-12 late in the game, just could be the tipping point for a strong PoNY squad.
We've got an unmarked man here in the flat. Looks like PoNY's willing to give up a little handler swing action, focused on shutting down cutter threats.
That's Seth Crockford on the mark. He's back after going down on that shoulder injury.
The man's made of steel. NextGen. Little misconnect there. They have been doing a great job of resetting back to the middle of the field. PoNY trying to take advantage.
Unforced error, PoNY with a shortened field. If they're able to score this, it'd be their first break of the second half. Put the game back on serve.
There's Mazer with the disc in the red zone. Look for them to call a play here. They look a little discombobulated.
Calling the field, Chris Mazer. Double dipping as he plays in the AUDL as well. Star in the Connecticut Constitution.
Looks like we have a moving violation. We'll look to tap the disc in now. Oh, a couple extra steps. Looks like an out of bounds missed opportunity.
NextGen gets lucky after an unforced turn. PoNY answers with an unforced turn of their own, throwing the disc out the sideline.
I think it's Matt Hennessy who may be down.
Matt Hennessy, one of those veteran players on the team. He's been here for all 8 years of the PoNY program. Mike Hennessy?
No, this is Matt on the ground. He is the younger brother. I believe it's his first year on the team. Clearly working hard to make a good impression. There, his brother comes out to give him, I think, a little talking to, a little pump up.
Tommy Lee on the cone.
Nice flat throw. Not an easy throw choice. Made the most of it. NextGen really flying around the field. PoNY's going to have to play tighter, have to play tougher to get the disc back. Looks like NextGen has a little height advantage in almost every matchup, save for 1 or 2. And those inches might be the difference happening right now.
Pick called on the field as Tommy Lee is on the sideline. Nice inside-out flick throw. Tyler DiGirolamo jumping into the end zone.
Beautiful inside out.
NextGen takes the lead 13-12.
That's a gorgeous throw. I am dumbfounded. That is exactly what makes a quality player, being able to see an opportunity like that and make the exact perfect throw.
Chris Mazer on the defense, probably not expecting something to go on the dead side like that. It looked like it was well covered, and Tommy Lee just flicks straight up the field. And a timeout from PoNY. They're down 13-12 in this game. Actually, probably NextGen called the timeout.
The strategy for PoNY at this point is going to have to be maintaining possession and putting a mark in a better place to stop some of these trickier connections that NextGen is getting away with. Slicing and dicing down the dead side, we've got to be able to seal that and have the strength to not break on offense. It's going to be a tall order, or this game could be over pretty quickly. NextGen walking with a little swagger and confidence back to the line. Hey, fellas, let's just keep doing what we're doing. Good position of strength.
NextGen tested in a tight game on Sunday against Boston Ironside. They responded well to the pressure there, getting 2 breaks late in the game. And at this point, up 13-12, taking a timeout to really put themselves in the right mindset.
A break here would be pretty unbelievable. Give NextGen a chance to maybe sub 1 or 2 players, give them a good rest to put out the strongest line and close the game. So it's going to be of utmost importance for PoNY to march down this field and put it in the end zone. Very crucial possession.
There goes zone look from the bus. Mostly man on the handlers.
I think it's a poor choice to have the zone out there. PoNY shredding through the field right now. Desperate travel call. Try and slow it down. We saw a man working. I think that might be the last zone we see from NextGen.
Travel on the throw before Gillies.
Looks like they've transitioned to man very effectively. Forcing the turn. Don't know if PoNY recognized the transition happened. Very smooth. And here NextGen chasing the dream. If we get a break here, the game may very well be theirs.
Eric Johnson with the disc, being marked by Kevin Riley. Call for the cutters downfield. Driscoll and Kuzmanwitz having some words. And Eric Johnson.
Oh, very nice catch.
Finds Jimmy Mickle right outside the goal line.
Great read. We haven't seen the Pony offense fare very well in the red zone on D. Though the crowd would love an exception to that right now. Heyman all over the dump, reset, pushing him back 10 yards. Staying flat, forcing the disc back. Great break. And the dream is almost within reach as NextGen
takes the lead by 2.
breaks one more time, making the score 14-12.
Crucial break point there. Going up 14-12 kind of takes the pressure off their defense on this line, because now their offense can still go on, score, and win the game 15-13.
Exactly. You see 5 or 6 guys coming off. It's a chance for excitement to happen again on D. Or worst case, your O is more rested than ever, ready to dominate. We're going to have to see a lot coming from PoNY, who has only managed to score 4 points in the second half, overshadowed by NextGen's 11 points in the second half.
On the line for PoNY, Mazer, Heyman. Looks like Kevin Riley, McGugan, Marsh.
It's a great pull. Kind of funky.
Gillies and BVH.
Looks like a line of returners except for Mazer. To PoNY's credit, they've been rebuilding this year, really trying to make it to quarterfinals on the national stage. Certainly they're working on a systemic season where every 2 weeks they're working on something new and putting new pieces in place. Let's see if they can show us something here.
Mazer hammer all the way over across to McGugan.
Still looking for the easy way out. I want to see these guys churning downfield with more space. Miscommunication. NextGen has the ball to win the game. We got a deep streaker. Spread in the field, that's exactly what you want to see. Oh, beautiful D. Mazer makes an incredible bid. Crowd doesn't like that one.
Mazer coming through Thorn. Great D, earning that disc back. And unfortunately, that disc is going to go back to Camden. Allison Hall in a contested foul. No observers here in this game, so we can only do the replay. NextGen still has possession. Tommy Lamar is on the sideline.
Oh, disc is up. Nice catch. Good focus from NextGen. PoNY really has to dig in. You want more from the sideline in a game like this. Helping the defenders find the ball. Oh, great heads up D from BVH. Foul on the throw. A reminder, a gentle reminder that PoNY's going to have to do better than that.
Foul call
to stay in this game.
BVH being marked by Jacob Janin. Janin, one of those Junior Worlds players, coached by BVH.
And you have to know, turn. Hard to stomach the turn. Was going to give BVH a compliment there for playing heads up D on the dead side, just to have, again, the wherewithal to turn his head and find a disc. See if NextGen can stuff it into this corner.
And a scooper from Florida Freechild.
Oh, BVH has done it again. Heads up D on the dead side. Came down pretty hard on his shoulder and face region.
Holding his eye on the field. Great heads-up play. 2 goal line stands.
The crowd is clapping as BVH gets up, gathers his composure. Looks like he'll be staying on the field. I stand corrected. Looks like he's taking one as another veteran, Jody Avergan, comes on. Let's see if Jody can influence the game a little longer. Looks like the game will resume.
Great goal line defense. PoNY offense with another opportunity to put this disc in.
PoNY has some of their best players on the field right now, and this is already an 8-minute point. All you can think about is NextGen's supposedly best offensive players getting a nice long rest.
And a backhand hug to Jack Marsh.
Jack Marsh comes from a circus family, and I'm not lying. He grew up a gymnast. And there you see the incredible athleticism. Let's see if that can fire up the team.
Certainly fired up the crowd. They were loving it. Is there any way we can get that guy to travel with us and do halftime shows? So PoNY D-line down 13-14, needing to get the break to extend this game. NextGen offensive line, Thorne, DiGirolamo, Camp, Raider, Haas, Lee, and Lance.
PoNY obviously bringing the scrappiest, hard-running, most intense, fiery defenders that they've got. That's what you need in a position like this where you're playing against an offense who's very rested. On game point, you're going to need explosion in order to keep up. Looks like we're a little junky. PoNY's got 3 or 4, putting pressure on cutters, giving up some of the handler hammers, but taking away the middle vulnerability of the field. Mark respecting the big throws.
Thorne on the sideline.
Ooh, into traffic. Great catch, great focus.
A pick being called downfield. Disc isn't going to stay at Lanso. Nice play, getting in front of Crockford.
With this throw, NextGen crosses half field, eyeing the target. PoNY's going to have to get in their shorts, make these swing passes a little less easy for NextGen.
Haas on the disc.
Great side-to-side play. NextGen
Lance
finding the end zone. And that is the game.
DiGirolamo, nice cutting right on that goal line. Gets his defender to fall over. And NextGen pulls out a close win. Great come from behind victory. They take this game 15-13.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
Outstanding game. I have to say it was exceptional. Great to watch. Clearly both teams have things to work on, but they've got to be happy with the result. A chance to display everything that they've been working on to this point.
And a great game here in New York. We'd like to thank our production company, Kimber Coles and Vin Bowie, cameraman Brian Bedord, Jackson Kelsey doing it live, and a big thanks to Aaron Bell for being with me here.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for having me, guys. Really fun game to be a part of. Wish NextGen the best of luck as they continue on their tour.
NextGen now 6-1. Big game coming up next. They'll be in Philadelphia taking on the Spinners under AUDL rules. Should be a very interesting game. Be sure to tune into the network, NextGen Network. I'm Topher Davis. Thank you for tuning in. Vin, take us out.